Good morning. We'll start with our class. Especially class will be for map pointing questions for Prelims 2019. Next up, talking about the questions. If you see the type of questions which have come, every year we had multiple questions coming from map pointing. Okay? Some questions are purely the map-based questions, and some of them are indirectly related to the map. So what we will try to do in today's class is this. First we will see what kind of questions had come in the previous years, because while attempting those questions also, your knowledge about maps will increase. And at the same time, today we will try to look at those places, at least some of those places which were in the news, and how we can analyze those places from the point of view of attempting the questions of prelims. Okay? If you look at the type of questions which come in prelims, we have two types of questions. एक तो आता है which is India map based. This is one. The other is of course the world map based questions. So these are the two type of questions that we usually get to see, India and world map based. When we talk about the world map based questions, usually these questions are related to current affairs. If we analyze the previous year questions, we will see that usually these questions are related to current affairs. So if you are doing your current affairs, whenever you are sitting down to do your current affairs, kindly sit down with the atlas in your hand. So if you see that some particular place has been named in the current affairs, so please find out that place from your atlas, and when you look at that place, don't only look at the particular country. Let's say there is some country which has been mentioned. Don't only look at that particular country, but also look at the surrounding countries or the countries which border that particular country. Usi ke saath saath you also have to look at if there are any water bodies like a sea or an ocean which borders that country. Similarly, you also have to look for the other physical aspects. For example, if there is some mountain range which is bordering one of the borders of the country, or you should look at the important rivers running through that area. So whenever you are analyzing something, you should analyze it from the perspective of the type of questions which have come in the previous years. Once we look at the type of questions, you'll be able to understand how to analyze a particular place when you see that appearing in the current affairs. Okay? But एक चीज जान के रखो कि whenever you are talking about world map based questions, usually they focus more on the current affair perspective. So if there is some kind of a war going on somewhere, some kind of a conflict, something like this, usually current affair is where they will focus more upon. It is not possible to remember exactly the entire world map, but jitna ho sake, at least of those places which have appeared in the news, you should try to. Okay? Now coming to the India map based question. Over here mostly we see that our knowledge regarding the India map is what is tested. In this case, in case of India map, it is not always that you will be asked questions related to current affairs all the time. You can also be asked questions where your knowledge regarding the India map will be tested thoroughly. So there is no other way out rather than just memorizing the India map. This is what I would say. Okay, try to memorize as much as possible the India map. If you remember, I think it was in 2017 where we had a question, okay, if you are traveling from Kohima to Kottayam, what is the minimum number of states that you will have to cross? So such kind of questions, it is not possible first of all to predict. Secondly, it is not possible even to attempt without knowing or having very thorough knowledge about the India map. So one thing, there's only one solution or something that you can do to prepare for this India map based question is basically to try to memorize the map as much as possible. When it comes to world map, what you can do probably is start with continent. Even now there is some amount of time left. So I would say every day you can start with one continent each and try to look at the important mountain ranges that are there in the continent. First you can look at like that, what are the important mountain ranges, what are the important rivers that we have, and then you can go country specific. Basically those countries which have been in the news, over there you can try to find out those countries and then look at it from all the aspects, like which countries are bordering that country and what are the important rivers over there, like this. So what in case of world map, you can do it continent wise initially, and within a continent try to find out those countries which have been in the news. On the other hand, when you talk about India map, every day I would say, okay, world map say you start with one continent, and in case of India map, you pick up any state, okay, every day pick up any state and look at whatever are the important features within the state. Again, which states are bordering that state, or what are the important rivers running through that state, important mountain ranges in the state. Similarly, in even in case of environment also, we get to see questions which come from map. Like let's say you will have on one column you will have names of wildlife sanctuaries mentioned, and on the other column you will have some physical feature mentioned. Like you have X wildlife sanctuary and then some other river is mentioned against it, and you have to select those which have been correctly matched. Now that is only possible if you are aware ke where that wildlife sanctuary is located and uske आसपास से कौन-कौन से rivers flow करते हैं. So what I mean to say is that if there is some wildlife sanctuary appearing in the news, then please go into the map and see what are the important rivers, mountain ranges around that wildlife sanctuary. So that way you can prepare for India map based question. Here you require very thorough knowledge about the India map. Otherwise it will not be possible for you to attempt such questions. Okay? So every year we get to see at least around let's say 6 to 8 marks or even 10 marks sometimes have come from this particular portion, map pointing, and hence just try to prepare for it as much as possible. It will not only help you in this question, but indirectly it will also help you to attempt the other questions of geography and environment as well. Is that understood? Okay. If you have any questions, आप पूछ सकते हैं. In case of world map, the most important area in my opinion would be the Middle East. Every year you will get to see that at least one question would be asked on the understanding of the map of the Middle East. So which country again is bordering which country, or which country opens up to the Mediterranean Sea, such kind of questions keep on coming, right? So please have a look at Middle East properly, especially those areas where there are conflicts taking place. Plus kind of questions come where you may be asked to arrange cities, to arrange capitals from east to west, west to east, north to south, like this. So whenever you are reading, whenever you are studying some map, उधर के आस-पास के countries, या तो even in case of Middle East, you can look at the capitals of the countries and try to arrange them north to south, south to north, east to west, west to east, because these are the type of questions which come. Another type of question that we get to see is also related to latitudes and longitudes, where sometimes they will ask, okay, out of these countries, through which of these countries does the equator pass, or through which of these countries does the Tropic of Cancer or the Tropic of Capricorn will pass. Okay, last year we had a question, we will attempt that in a while, but we had a question where it was asking, okay, there is a longitude which passes through some state. Now which of these cities is the closest to that particular longitude? So that is why your understanding of the India map, also your understanding about the latitudes and longitudes are important. Okay? So it's a very vast area, but try to focus more on the current affair part. Again, if something is very difficult, I would say please do not try to go for don't go for a blind guess. Only go if you are more or less well prepared for that particular question related to maps. If a map based question comes which is very difficult, it won't be difficult just for you but also for the rest if you are well prepared. Okay? So in that case, map based, of course, it's a very vast area. That is why I am saying try to prepare as much as possible from the India map and current affairs for the world map. We will see one by one. Let us try a few previous year questions. So we will alternate between previous year questions and places which are there in the news this year. Okay? Some of those places we will see. Okay, we will start with the place in the news. First, we get to see Kerala again was in the news for many reasons. Okay? One of the reason, of course, was the Sabrimala issue. Now, regarding the Sabrimala temple, can you open the map of Kerala? So we will see Kerala, उधर एक सबरीमाला टेम्पल हुआ था. That was one issue that you have to focus on. we had the floods taking place also. Also we had the flowering of the Nila Kurinji flowers. So there are multiple reasons why Kerala was in the news, and that is why Kerala becomes an important state जहाँ से questions can come. ठीक है? अच्छा. A few points that you should note down. The temple, that is the Sabrimala temple, it is situated at Pathanam Thitta, P-A-T-H-A-N-A-M, 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 Pathanam Thitta district, ठीक है, Pathanam Thitta district of Kerala, Pathanam Thitta district of Kerala. Now, are you aware that this Sabrimala lies within a protected area? Which protected area? Periyar Tiger Reserve. ठीक है? So naturally, Periyar Tiger Reserve also becomes important. ठीक है? Pathanam Thitta district of Kerala inside the Periyar Tiger Reserve. Now, regarding Periyar Tiger Reserve, we know that it was one among the first tiger reserves to be declared in India. Apart from that, write down the Periyar Tiger Reserve covers the districts of, Idduki, I-D-U-K-K-I, Idduki, Kottayam. It covers the districts of Idduki, Kottayam and Pathanamthitta. Now, can you locate those districts in the map? Idduki, Kottayam and Pathanamthitta. Just try to locate those districts in the map. Open the map of Kerala or of South India and try to see if you can find any of these districts, Idduki, Kottayam, Pathanamthitta. So again, Periyar river becomes important. So one is the Periyar river. Over here, another important river is the Pamba, P-A-M-B-A, Pamba. No, I don't think they will have map. So look at it in your map itself. Can you see Periyar? Periyar. Okay, so important rivers that we have in Kerala. There are other important rivers. The largest river of Kerala is largest one, longest. Have you heard of Bharatpuzha? Okay, this is the longest, and the second longest is Periyar. Okay. So again, questions related to such kind of like the physical features of Kerala can be asked. एक हम लोगों ने देखा कि Periyar is an important river over here. We have Pamba, an important river, but the longest river of Kerala is Bharatpuzha. Okay, important hill ranges. Write down important hill ranges that we have is the Cardamom Hills. Important hill ranges are the Cardamom Hills and the Pandalam Hills, P-A-N-D-A-L-A-M, Pandalam Hills, Cardamom Hills and Pandalam Hills of Southern Western Ghats. Cardamom Hills and the Pandalam Hills of Southern Western Ghats. Okay. Here we get to see that during the floods which had occurred in Kerala, one of the reasons given behind the flood was the Mulla Periyar Dam. Now this Mulla Periyar Dam, it is located in the Idduki district of Kerala. Mulla Periyar Dam was one of the reasons given behind the floods which had occurred in Kerala. So this Mulla Periyar Dam lies in the Idukki district and on which river again? Periyar river only. Okay? Mulla Periyar Dam, Idukki district, Periyar river, these are the things that you have to know. Right? Similarly, we also get to see that Neela Kurinji flowering had taken place after 12 years in 2018. So regarding Neela Kurinji, you need to know that over here we have a particular sanctuary dedicated just for the conservation and protection of the Neela Kurinji. It is called as the Kurinji Mala Sanctuary. Okay? It is called as the Kurinji Mala Sanctuary. So when you are looking at all these different issues, try to locate the places in the map as well. Let's say you are looking at Sabrimala. Apart from the constitutional aspect of it, you also have to look at what are the physical features that are located nearby. That is, it lies within the Periyar Tiger Reserve. We have important rivers like the Periyar, like the Pamba over there. We also have ranges like the Cardamom Hills and the other hill ranges that are located, that also you have to know. Similarly, another point regarding Kerala, because we are talking about Bharat Puja. Bharat Puja has a tributary जिनका नाम है कुंती पूजा, and this goes through the Silent Valley National Park, which is again in Kerala. Okay? Bharat Puja, it has a tributary called as Kunti Puja. Again, this is for those kind of questions where you will have a protected area, and against that protected area you may have names of rivers, mountain ranges, etc. mentioned. Okay? So for Periyar Tiger Reserve it is Periyar. Similarly for Silent Valley it will be Kunti Puja. Okay, let us try another question from the previous year. Last year there was a question where it was asked, among the following cities, which one lies on a longitude closest to that of Delhi? And the options given were Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Nagpur and Pune. So this is one type of latitude longitude based questions which can be asked. The question was asking, you have the following cities and which out of this lies on a longitude which is closest to Delhi. So we have Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Nagpur and Pune. What should be the answer? Answer should be Bengaluru. But again, you can understand for such kind of questions, without proper knowledge about the India map, it will become difficult. Kunti Puja, you'll find the river in Kerala. Is it not present over there? Kunti Puja goes through Silent Valley National Park. Silent Valley National Park. It is in Kerala. Okay, another world map based question which was asked in the previous year. Again, let's try to attempt this as well. Which of the following is geographically closest to Great Nicobar? Geographically closest to the Great Nicobar. A. Sumatra, B. Borneo, C. Java and D. Sri Lanka. A. Sumatra, B. Borneo, C. Java and D. Sri Lanka. The answer will be Sumatra, right? So this kind of questions again regarding, it's a mixture of India and world map based question. Okay. Next. Another country which was in the news this year was Turkey. And Turkey was in the news, again it lies in the Middle East, so it will be important. It was in the news because of the murder of a journalist. which had taken place in a consulate over there. Open Turkey in your atlas and we'll try to see the important places over there. And at the same time note down a few information regarding Turkey as well. Okay, open Turkey. Is it open? Achha, why was it in the news? Number one, for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, in a Saudi consulate. This is why it was in the news. Jamal Khashoggi. Next is the capital of Turkey. Which is the capital of Turkey? Capital of Turkey is Ankara. Capital of Turkey is Ankara. Okay. Next point regarding Turkey. Okay, the modern Turkish Republic. The modern Turkish Republic was founded in the year 1923. The modern Turkish Republic was founded in the year 1923 after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. After the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. If you look at the geographical location of Turkey, you will find it's very unique because it forms a bridge between two continents, right? So it forms a bridge between Europe and Asia. It's a peninsula which lies between Europe and Asia. Can you find that there is a strait present over here? A strait. What is a strait? S-T-R-A-I-T, strait. Strait is a narrow stretch of water, right? It's a narrow stretch of water which connects two larger water bodies. Can you see a narrow strait present which connects the two parts of Turkey? Can you see a strait by the name of Bosporus Strait? Yes. Write down, it is connected via the Bosporus Strait, and this bridges the two parts of Turkey, that is the European part and the Asian part. Europe and Asia, they are bridged via the Bosporus Strait. B-O-S-P-O-R-O-U-S, Bosporus, or B-O-S-P-O-R-U-S, Bosporus Strait. A strait is a narrow water body which will connect two larger water bodies, right? So the Bosporus Strait will connect which two large water bodies? We have two bodies, एक तो है Black Sea, on one side you have Black Sea, and can you see another water body? It is the Sea of Marmara. The Sea of Marmara, is it present? So when you are looking at Turkey, then at the same time you try to see that the two parts of Turkey, they are divided by this narrow strait of water called as the Bosporus Strait. And what, again, we know what is a strait, so you should also look at which two larger water bodies are connected via this strait. One is the Black Sea and the other is the Sea of Marmara. Again you see this Sea of Marmara, it is connected through the, or it is connected to the, which sea? Sea of Marmara, it is connected through to another sea. it is connected to the Aegean Sea and through a strait. Which strait is this? Dardanelles Strait. ठीक है. So remember the sequence. अगर हम लोग लेफ्ट से राइट देखें तो एजियन सी, देन कम्स डार्डनल स्ट्रेट, देन कम्स सी ऑफ मरमरा, उसके बाद द बॉस्फोरस स्ट्रेट एंड देन वी हैव द ब्लैक सी. ठीक है. Are you all able to locate these places? Next, you see the European part of Turkey, European part of Turkey, it is called as Thrace. European side of Turkey, it is called as Thrace, Thrace, Thrace. The European side of Turkey, it is called as Thrace, and the Asian side, it is called as Asia Minor. Asian side, it is called as Asia Minor. It is also called as Anatolia. You may have heard of the plateau of Anatolia. It is also called as Anatolia or the Asian Minor, Asia Minor. Next, if you look at the different countries which are present, tell me which are the bordering countries that we have for Turkey. Which are the bordering countries that we have for Turkey? To the northwest, which are the countries that we have? Can you see Greece? Can you see Greece? Can you see Bulgaria? Greece and Bulgaria, the northwest. If you look to the east, then we will have Georgia. If you look to the east, then you will get to see Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, and to the south you will get to see Iraq and Syria. To the south you will get to see Iraq and Syria. Okay? So these are the countries that we have bordering Turkey. Next, another type of question that can be asked from India map based is this kind of question where you can have wetlands given and then you may be asked which out of these wetland lies in which particular state. Let's say for example a question had come where it was asked which one of the following is an artificial lake. Okay? A. Kodaikanal in Tamil Nadu, B. Koleru in Andhra Pradesh, C. Nainital in Uttarakhand, and D. Renuka in Himachal Pradesh. Which one of the following is an artificial lake? This question had come in 2018. A. Kodaikanal in Tamil Nadu, B. Koleru in Andhra Pradesh, C. Nainital in Uttarakhand, and D. Renuka in Himachal Pradesh. See this kind of, yes, answer will be A. Kodaikanal of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so this kind of questions also you can expect where you can be asked map based question, that is you can be given some kind of a lake present in some state and you need to know, you need to have some knowledge regarding it. Next, another question that we get to see was asked last year was from Andaman Nicobar and that was related to the barren island volcano. Okay. Similarly, Andaman and Nicobar is again in the news this year, and hence it becomes very important that you should know the location. Can you just open the map of Andaman Nicobar? So we will alternate between world map and India map as well. See, again what you have to know is the structure of the various islands in Andaman Nicobar and their location. So if you look at Andaman and Nicobar, you will get to see that on the top we have something called as the Cocoa Channel. Can you see? And below Cocoa Channel, you will have North Andaman, Middle Andaman, then we will have South Andaman. ठीक है? उसके बाद you will have the Duncan Passage, and after that we have the Little Andamans. After that you have the 10-degree channel. We have the Great Nicobar lying at the very bottom. उसके नीचे we have the Great Channel. See if you can see the structure like this of Andaman. So you should remember the sequence in which all these different islands appear. At the very bottom of the Great Nicobar, over there we used to have the Indira Point, which used to be the lowest or the southernmost point of India, that is Indira Point, but after the 2004 tsunami we get to see that it was destroyed. Okay? So remember the sequence in which they appear. इसी के साथ साथ if you look at Andaman, then you should also see the North Sentinel Island, which was there in the news this year. North Sentinel Island, Narkodam Island, okay, Barren Island, these are the various islands that you should be aware of. और ये जो sequential distribution है, please remember those. ठीक है? So from India map, you should do Andaman and Nicobar thoroughly. उसके बाद coming to another question. बोलो. Great Andaman. Great Andaman is a tribe over there. Do we have a particular term as a Great Andaman? I'm not exactly sure. The Great Andamanis, they are a tribe that we found. Okay. Then just have to check, but ideally over here there are two groups of islands. We call them to be the Labyrinth Islands, and then we have Ritchie's Archipelago. Okay. In Andaman we have two large groups of islands, but Great Andaman, I'll just have to tell you. North Andaman, Middle Andaman, most probably. Okay, maybe this group might be called as the Greater Andaman. So one question had come, and this is why I keep on टर्की को लेके एक क्वेश्चन आया था कि टर्की इज लोकेटेड बिटवीन ए, दिस इज फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस ईयर, टर्की इज लोकेटेड बिटवीन ए द ब्लैक सी एंड द कैस्पियन सी, बी ब्लैक सी एंड मेडिटेरेनियन सी, सी गल्फ ऑफ सुएज एंड मेडिटेरेनियन सी, एंड डी गल्फ ऑफ अकाबा एंड डेड सी. So Turkey is situated between A, Black Sea and Caspian Sea, B, Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, C, Gulf of Suez and Mediterranean Sea, and D, Gulf of Aqaba and Dead Sea. What should be the answer? Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, B. Let's try to understand, answer this question. Okay, what is the correct sequence? What is the correct sequence of occurrence of the following cities? Correct sequence of occurrence of the following cities in Southeast Asia as one proceeds from south to north. When one proceeds from south to north, then what is the correct sequence of the occurrence of the following cities? So over here, the options that were given, you had Bangkok, so you had four options or four cities given, Bangkok, Hanoi, Jakarta and Singapore. Question ये पूछा गया था कि correct sequence of occurrence of the following cities in Southeast Asia as one proceeds from the south to the north. What should be the correct sequence? बताओ. Okay, can you find out these places in your atlas and then tell me what is the correct sequence? Okay. 3, 4, 1, 2. Answer will be 3, 4, 1 and 2. This should be the answer. So till now what we have seen is, एक हो सकता है कि you may be asked longitude based question or some kind of factual question कि where a particular wetland is located or where a particular wildlife sanctuary is located. क्योंकि last year we get to see there was a question regarding the Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary and which state it is located in. So Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary, Arunachal Pradesh. Now this kind of factual questions can also be there. Okay. Similarly, you can also be asked to arrange them in a sequence, as I was saying, from north to south, south to north, like this. Okay. Now, so we are just looking at the type of questions which have come and how you should analyze a place which is there in the news. Let us go to the next place in the news, that is Caspian Sea. Write down regarding the Caspian Sea and open the atlas and see Caspian Sea. Okay, why Caspian Sea was in the news? Write down. Leaders of the littoral countries. Littoral means the surrounding countries. Leaders of the littoral countries. Leaders of the littoral countries had met to sign a convention. Had met to sign a convention on the legal status. had met to sign a convention on the legal status of the Caspian Sea, which means that there has been a long standing dispute about the status of the Caspian Sea, whether it is a lake, whether it is a sea, because on the basis of whether it is a lake or a sea, the rights of the littoral states will be decided. Okay, how far the jurisdiction of the littoral states will be there, that will be decided on the basis of whether it is declared to be a lake or a sea. So on this issue we had a conference taking place, okay, and this had happened in August of 2018. Which were the countries? Write down Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Iran and Turkmenistan. These were the countries which had met. Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Iran and Turkmenistan. These were the countries which had met. It is called as the 5th Caspian Summit. The 5th Caspian Summit. And it had taken place in AKTAU, in Kazakhstan. It had taken place in this particular area in Kazakhstan, Aktau in Kazakhstan. And what was decided at the summit is that the Caspian Sea, it is neither a sea nor a lake. So it was given a special status. Okay? It was given a special legal status. Now regarding the Caspian Sea, it is the largest saltwater lake. It is the largest saltwater lake on earth by area and volume. It is the largest saltwater lake on earth by area and volume. It does not feed into an ocean. It does not feed into an ocean. But in terms of depth and size, it is almost like a sea. It does not feed into an ocean, but in terms of its depth, in terms of its size, it is almost like a sea. What else? It lies between Asia and Europe. And if you look at the important rivers which drain into this sea, can you see some important rivers over here? One is Volga. Can you see Volga? V-O-L-G-A, Volga. And Terek, T-E-R-E-K, Terek river. The Volga river and the Terek river, T-E-R-E-K, Terek, and the Volga river, they flow from the west, that is in Russia. Okay, the Terek river, T-E-R-E-K, Terek, I'll repeat. So there are multiple rivers which flow into this particular sea. उनमें से important rivers है one Volga, two Terek, T-E-R-E-K. Volga, Terek. These are from Russia, and from the east we have the Ural river, U-R-A-L, Ural river from the east. If you look at the bordering countries, then you will get to see in the northwest we have Russia. Can you find Russia in the northwest? To the northwest we will have Russia. To the northeast we have Kazakhstan. To the southeast we will have Turkmenistan. To the south we will have Iran, and to the southwest, which are the bordering countries, because this particular water body is in the news. So that is why you have to know which are the countries which are surrounding this particular water body. So we have Russia, we have Kazakhstan, we have Turkmenistan, we have Iran, we have Azerbaijan. The basin of the Caspian Sea, it is rich in hydrocarbons, oil and gas reserves. It is rich in hydrocarbons, oil and gas reserves. Hydrocarbons, oil and gas reserves. Are you aware about caviar? What is this? No, it's not a fish. Yes, these are the eggs of a particular fish. जिसका नाम है sturgeon fish. And this particular fish, it is found in the Caspian Sea. Many species of sturgeon are found in the Caspian Sea, and this caviar, it is supposed to be one of the most expensive delicacies in the world. So this sturgeon from which the caviar it is extracted, this sturgeon it is found in the Caspian Sea over here. Next. Achha, let us just try to understand the India map, why it is so important. Just try to attempt that answer. If you travel by road from Kohima to Kottayam, then what is the minimum number of states within India through which you can travel, including the origin and the destination? आपके पास ऑप्शंस दिए गए थे 6, 7, 8 and 9. 6, 7, 8 and 9 if you are traveling from Kohima to Kottayam, what is the minimum number of states through which you can pass? 6, 7, 8 and 9. देखो, and this is why it is extremely important that you focus on each of the states, and while focusing on each of the states, you find out which are the bordering states. And that is why the knowledge about the India map becomes so important. You have to memorize, if possible, which state lies beside which state. So for this, what should be the answer? Go to the India map and find out. Including the origin and the destination. How much are we getting? Ideally, the answer should be 7 for this. See if you are getting 7 or not. If you are not getting 7, then you should understand why you are not getting 7. Just see, you are getting 8. Check. Acha. Next question. Next question, another question, world map based question which was asked in 2017 prelims was regarding the Mediterranean Sea. Question had asked you, Mediterranean Sea is a border of which of the following countries? Mediterranean Sea, it is a border of which of the following countries? The countries that were given are these are the 4 countries which were given, and you had been asked, out of these countries, which are the countries which open to the Mediterranean Sea? Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and Syria. Open the Mediterranean Sea ka map and see. Which of the following countries have Mediterranean Sea as one of their borders? You see, such kind of questions again you can expect, and especially regarding this Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, it opens out. It opens to the Mediterranean Sea. Which one of the question I'll repeat, Mediterranean Sea is a border of which of the following countries? Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and Syria. Which out of this? Just, is it just Iraq? It is a border of which of the following country? It opens out to which of the following country? So we should ideally get Lebanon and Syria as the answer, right? Next. Can you open the Gulf of Aden? Gulf of Aden, A-D-E-N. Have you been able to find out the Gulf of Aden? Yes? Okay. Now this Gulf of Aden area again was in the news. Why? Because the Indian Navy, it will complete 10 years of its deployment over here. आपको पता होगा कि the Indian Navy was responsible for providing security to the merchant ships which used to pass through this area. Why? Because of the pirates from Somalia. Okay. So why this was in the news? Write down, the Indian Navy, it will complete 10 years. Indian Navy, it will complete 10 years of deployment in 2018. Matlab 2018 mein it has completed 10 years of its deployment. It was first deployed in the year 2008. Why? To check piracy over here. Okay. Now this Gulf of Aden, the name comes from a port in South Yemen which is called as Aden. The name comes from a port, a seaport of South Yemen which is called as Aden. Look at the countries which are surrounding this particular area, the Gulf of Aden. If you look, then you will have on one side Yemen, and on the other side you will get to see a few countries of Africa. Which are those countries? So we have Somalia and we have Djibouti, and over here along with Somalia, Djibouti, you have Eritrea and Ethiopia together forming what we call as the Horn of Africa. So जान के रखो, Horn of Africa consists of these countries, that is Eritrea, Ethiopia, Djibouti and we have Somalia. Okay, they together form the Horn of Africa. Next up, can you see that between the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea, again we have a narrow strait over here, right? So you should remember the name of the strait. We have the Bab el-Mandeb. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait connects the Gulf of Aden with the Red Sea. And you may be aware that this area is very rich in oil. Basically this entire route, आप देखो, go above the Red Sea and you will get to see something called as the Suez Canal. The Gulf of Aden is connected with the Red Sea through a narrow strait. What is the name of the strait? Bab el-Mandeb. ठीक है। अच्छा ऊपर देखो, दिस एंटायर रूट जो है, राइट फ्रॉम सुएज कैनाल थ्रू द रेड सी एंड देन द गल्फ ऑफ एडन, so this entire route, it is a very important waterway for Persian oil. It is very rich in oil, petroleum, all this, and it forms a major route for the Persian oil. इसीलिए this particular route was very risky for the merchant ships. Somalia was known for its piracy, and the pirates from Somalia used to attack all these merchant ships which used to pass through the Suez Canal, then through the Red Sea, and finally through the Gulf of Aden. And that is where the Indian Navy came in, and since the Indian Navy has been deployed, incidents of piracy have come down a great deal. Over on top of the Red Sea, you may be aware that we have the Sinai Peninsula. Which is the Sinai Peninsula? Can you see the Sinai Peninsula? And along the Sinai Peninsula, we have the Suez Canal. Come again. Sinai Peninsula. Along the Sinai Peninsula, you have the Suez Canal. Achha, next question. Now again, how this was regarding world map. Coming back to India map once again, you see again another type of question can be asked where your idea or your knowledge about the physiography of India will be tested. एक previous year से question पूछता हूँ. Question में ये पूछा गया था कि consider the following statements. Number 1, in India the Himalayas are spread over 5 states only. Okay, 5 states only. Second statement, Western Ghats are spread over 5 states only. Third statement, Pulicat Lake is spread over 2 states only. Which of the following statements given above are correct? आपसे ये पूछा गया था कि इंडिया में हिमालयाज आर स्प्रेड ओवर 5 स्टेट्स ओनली, and then we have Western Ghats spread over 5 states again, and Pulicat Lake is spread over 2 states. Is it only 3? Okay, which are the states over which the Himalayas will extend? शुरू करो west से. Okay, we have the Jammu and Kashmir, उसके बाद हिमाचल, उत्तराखंड, सिक्किम. We'll have Assam as well, Assam, Arunachal, then West Bengal. So total, how many states we get? So first statement, it is not correct. What about the Western Ghats? Where does it start? Okay, in case of Western Ghats, we will see that it will stretch from southern part of Gujarat itself. So we will have Gujarat, Maharashtra, then Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Okay, we have 6 states over here. What about the Pulicat Lake? Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Okay, next question. Next area that was in the news is Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka, it was in the news for all the political chaos that was taking place in its country, in this country. Achha, regarding Sri Lanka, what is the capital? Name of the capital? Name of the capital of Sri Lanka? Sri Jayawardhanepura Kotte, which is lying in the suburbs of Colombo. Write down the spelling. The capital of Sri Lanka is SRI, Sri Jaye Wardene, Sri Jayawardhanepura. SRI, Sri JAYEWARDENEPURA, Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte, which is in the suburbs of Colombo. In Colombo, it is the commercial capital. Sri Lanka is separated from India by Park Street. Okay? It is separated from India by the Park Street. Regarding Sri Lanka, it was first colonized by the Portuguese. Giving some idea about the history of Sri Lanka, it was first colonized by the Portuguese. Then came the Dutch, then the British, and finally it got independent in 1948. Portuguese, then Dutch, then the British, and finally it got independence in the year 1948. It shares maritime borders with एक तो है India, the other is Maldives. It shares maritime borders with India and with the Maldives. ठीक है, next. Are we aware about the Adams Bridge? And these Adams Bridge, these are nothing but limestone shoals. And at one point of time, it was actually possible. So you can actually cross, but it was possible to cross over from India into Sri Lanka via this Adams Bridge. But then we get to see a cyclone, a very violent cyclone in the 15th century destroyed this Adams Bridge. So now it is destroyed. And to the north of the Adams Bridge, we have the Park Street. To the south of the Adams Bridge, we have the Gulf of Mannar. Okay? To the south of the Adams Bridge, we have the Gulf of Mannar, and to the north, we have the Park Street. The Gulf of Mannar, आपको पता होगा कि again another very important species, because we are talking about Gulf of Mannar, so you should also know about the dugong, which is an important species found in the Gulf of Mannar. D-U-G-O-N-G, dugong, which is an important species found in the Gulf of Mannar. Also, we get to see coral reefs in the Gulf of Mannar. Okay? Next, regarding Sri Lanka, the demography of Sri Lanka, right on Sinhalese, S-I-N-H-A-L-E-S-E. Sinhalese, it is the major community. Sinhalese, it is the major community, and it makes up 74% of the country's population. Sinhalese, S-I-N-H-A-L-E-S-E. Sinhalese, it is the major community, and it makes up 74% of the country's population. Apart from the Sinhalese, other important communities over here. One, we have the Sri Lankan Tamils. Apart from the Sinhalese, the other important communities over here. One is the Sri Lankan Tamils, the Indian Tamils, Sri Lankan Tamils, the Indian Tamils, and we have the Sri Lankan Moors, another community. Okay, Sri Lankan Moors. These are the important communities that we have in Sri Lanka. Next, regarding Sri Lanka, Buddhism was introduced in Sri Lanka in 247 BC. Buddhism was introduced in Sri Lanka in 247 BC by the son of Emperor Ashok. Buddhism was introduced in Sri Lanka in 247 BC by the son of Emperor Ashok. And you see the location of Sri Lanka, because it is very strategically located between the west and the east. So it is used as a global logistics hub. Okay? Also write down, it is used as a global logistics hub, due to its strategic location between the West and the East. Used as a global logistics hub due to its strategic location in the West and the East. And it was the first country in the world to have a female prime minister. What was her name? First country in the world to have a female prime minister. And her name was Sirimavo. It was in 1960. Her name was Sirimavo Bandaranaike. Sirimavo. Sirimavo. अब देखो, there can be some differences in the spelling. Some differences in the spelling, but ultimately आपको prelims के लिए सिर्फ इतना जानना है कि Sri Lanka was the first country in the world to have a female prime minister, and just know her name. They won't ask you the actual spelling. So wherever you see Sirimavo, you can mark it to be correct. Next. The Northeast, again another thing, the Northeast will always be there in the news, and questions you can expect from the Northeast, be it about environment, or be it about the geography of Northeast, or be it about the location of the various states in the Northeast. एक question आया था, the question was asking, consider the following rivers. One is the Barak, B-A-R-A-K, Barak river. Consider the following rivers. One is the Barak river, the other is Lohit, third is Subansiri. And the question had asked, which of the above flows through Arunachal? Barak, Lohit, Subansiri, which of the following or which of the above flows through Arunachal? Open up the Northeast and see. You should remember the entire map of the Northeast very, very thoroughly. Okay? Have you opened the map of the Northeast? You should remember which state comes after which state. You should be able to arrange the states from north to south. Okay? Also, you will get to see a number of hill ranges will be there. So you should be able to arrange the hills again from north to south. You have the Naga hills, Manipuri hills, all these different hills are there. You should be able to arrange them from north to south. Okay? So out of these three rivers, and so there are two out of this. Out of the three given, Barak, Lohit, there are two rivers. One will be Lohit, the other is Subansiri, which flows through Arunachal. Okay, now this kind of questions again you can only attempt if you have very, very thorough knowledge about the India map. Let me ask you another question based on Indian geography. The question had asked, what is the correct order of rivers from north to south? Correct order of rivers from north to south. I will give you the names of the rivers. So questions like this can also be there where you might be asked to arrange them from north to south. Okay, tell me the names. First will be from north to south. Ideally, we should have Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, and Bias. Indus should be the first. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, and Bias. Okay, again, this kind of question you can only, but this was still easier. You can be asked regarding the tributaries of the peninsular rivers. Again, peninsular rivers जो होते हैं, उनका tributaries you have to focus a bit more upon. Okay, focus a little bit more on the tributaries of the rivers of the peninsula. They might ask you about the right hand, left hand bank tributaries. In terms of its flow, you can talk about origin. You will not be able to because some will be in the east and also regarding the flow of the river. You cannot remember the entire flow of the river, but on a general basis, if you see, then you will have the Indus coming first. If you look at the map itself, Indus will have it starting from near. No, but if you look at Indus, just see the flow of Indus, you will see that it is towards the north. Okay? In the terms of flow itself. Acha, next. Correct order of mountain peaks. Again, let me ask you a question. Correct order of mountain peaks from south to north. Correct order of mountain peaks from south to north. Correct order of the mountain peaks from south to north. What should be the answer? Correct order of the mountain peaks from south to north. So if I look at it from south to north, you will get to see first comes Anaimudi, उसके बाद आता है डोडा बेट्टा, उसके बाद we will have the Mahendragiri, finally we will have the Malagiri. ठीक है, in terms of peaks, this is the sequence. Let us go to the next place that was in the news, Mauritius. Mauritius. And Mauritius was in the news because the opposition party in Mauritius as well as the public, they had raised a lot of questions regarding a particular developmental project which was being undertaken by India in Mauritius. And in Mauritius we have a particular island called as the Agalega Island. So over there we had India undertaking a developmental project and a lot of questions were being raised by the opposition as well as by the public of Mauritius. So regarding Mauritius, we have to know, number one, the capital of Mauritius, write down, it is Port Louis. The capital of Mauritius, it is Port Louis. It was first occupied by the Portuguese. It was first occupied by the Portuguese. Then by the Dutch, then the French, and then the British, and finally it became independent in 1968. The Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, and the British, and finally it became independent in 1968. The population density of Mauritius, it is the highest out of all the other African countries. The population density of Mauritius, this is another important feature regarding Mauritius. The population density of Mauritius, it is the highest of all the African countries. The main island, it is of volcanic origin, and it is surrounded by coral reefs. Is of volcanic origin, and it is surrounded by coral reefs. It is the former home of the dodo. You may have heard of dodo. It is the former home of the dodo. And over here in Mauritius, we have a particular dance which is very famous over here called as the Sega dance. Now this dance had its origin in the plantation workers who had come over here from Africa, who were brought over here from Africa. So that was the origin of this particular dance. The Sega dance, which is the national dance of Mauritius, and the origin of this dance was where the plantation workers who had come into Mauritius as slaves. Mauritius is also the headquarters. Mauritius is also the headquarters of the Indian Ocean Rim Association. It is also the headquarters of the Indian Ocean Rim Association. Indian Ocean Rim Association. Okay, next. A question had come which had asked you, one column we had famous place, and on the other column we had region. So on one column we had famous places, on the other column we had the region where it is located. First one was Bodh Gaya, and region diya gaya tha Baghelkhand. Bodh Gaya and Baghelkhand. Second area that was given was Khajuraho and Bundelkhand. Bodh Gaya, Baghelkhand, Khajuraho, Bundelkhand. Third one which was given was Shirdi and Vidarbha. Shirdi and Vidarbha. Fourth was Nasik and Malwa. And fifth was Tirupati and Rayalaseema. Now it was asked which of these have been correctly matched. So this is another type of question which is possible, where you might have famous place